as everybody files in, gets kind of their seat situated, kind of gets that butt groove into their chair. I'll speak for a little bit. So the markets have been down. Everybody's been down. Everybody's slumped shoulders and saying, oh no, what are we going to do? But if you've been in this long enough, you know, and this goes with crypto markets, stock markets, any markets, you know that markets go up, markets go down. No one's really surprised whenever it goes down if you've been in the game long enough. It's not just going to go up always. And whenever it is down, I think, especially whenever we have a weekly segment called WAGMI Wednesday, so we're all going to make it Wednesday, the we're all going to make it does not just go away whenever the market goes down. That's not how we're all going to make it work, right? We're going to actually talk about some of the more bullish news that's around. So sometimes you have to search a little bit harder for bullish news. And everybody today is looking at FOMC to find out what Powell's going to say. So it's the closest to a king we're going to have is Powell. Just every word out of his mouth is what our economic outlook is going to be like. But yeah, so we're all kind of waiting for that to kind of drop. And then we're also just looking at different news. And whenever I'm looking for kind of bullish news amongst a bearish time, I'm looking for a few things. I'm looking for news stories that have to do with adoption, that maybe in the DeFi space, things are being more adopted at a quicker rate, or some new technologies that are being created that'll be able to help both out the DeFi as well as the stock market space. Any of this news can still be powerful and still be, good news whenever it's even a down cycle in the market. So yes, we're having down cycles in the market, supply chain issues, all kind of things all around, but there's still good news to be had all around. I am Steve, and I go by the Voice of DeFi. You can find me on Twitter at Voice of DeFi. We are here on the TRADERVERSE Alpha Hour, and with me is Christine Barnum. She is the co-founder of the OTC Club and NFT Extraordinaire. You can see her waving right there. If you get a chance, in the lower right-hand corner of your screen, you can find a little tweet button. Tweet out the room. Bring your buddies in here, because we're going to have a fun discussion today on the TRADERVERSE account here. Now, if you don't know what TRADERVERSE is, it's a soon-to-be-released media network, but it's so much more than that. It's going to be a financial and market-centered social media network. So that's a little different than your YouTubes and your Twitters or wherever else out there. A little different, that it's a little more centered around, your tradable commodities, your NFTs, your crypto, your stocks, that sort of thing. So definitely it's your people that are going to be part of TRADERVERSE, and that will be released very soon. We'll have a product, we'll have streams, which will allow you to create content or consume content right through TRADERVERSE. And at the same time, it will have you can co-stream with YouTube as well. So that will be a lot of fun as well. Christine, how are you doing today? You having a good morning?
I would say it's okay. I'm nervous about, Powell speaking today, because you never know which way the market will go. And I feel like, like on the stock market and the crypto market, it's just so volatile everywhere. It's crazy. It's hard to know how the market's going to move after Powell speaks today. So,
that's right.
Anxious today.
I could tell whenever I asked you, and your first thing was, well, I was like, well, that's not a ringing endorsement for how good your day is going. But I used to be involved more in foreign exchange and Forex. And man, you want to see some markets move whenever that guy speaks, or just whenever the reserve chair speaks. Obviously, whenever you're dealing with Forex, you're dealing directly with the currency which he oversees. And man, the guy can, whatever his words say, and literally it can swing the market both ways within sentences of what he says. He'll say one thing that's kind of bullish, or saying, kind of hinting about what he's about to kind of do the unveil as far as interest rates. And, he'll say something, and boom, market will absolutely make a clear, defined move of where it's going. But then he'll say something next that kind of washes out.
And then it moves the opposite way.
It moves the opposite way, right? And
it's an hour and a half, right?
Yeah, but the meat of it comes pretty quickly. It's not like Netflix or something where they have the big cliffhanger and they hold it to the end. It usually happens a little sooner. But yeah, I used to try to do crazy Forex trading strategies on FOMC day, where you'd leave like an entry point at the high and the low at the previous day. And man, his sentences just blow through both. easy. So I started just saying, I'm just gonna kind of watch the markets and not try to scalp it off what he says. It got to be too difficult for me. So
I'm sure.
what time is that? Is it? I think it's 1 p.m. my time. What time is it here happening in an hour and a half?
11 p.m. Or 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time.
Wouldn't it be a lot more fun if it was p.m. like you said at first, where we all stay up to midnight to find out where the markets were going? That would add a new wrinkle for sure. If the stock market was closed and all that. But there is bullish news out there. This isn't all just let's wait in anticipation, which we all are waiting in anticipation. But there is other things to discuss. Did you guys see anything about this DeFi or decentralized messaging that may be coming to us, or do you even care whether your messaging is decentralized or centralized?
I did see it. My concern was, I think Dre, we were speaking about it as well in the chat. I think it's weird. Like, I don't know if I'd want all my messages on the blockchain. And I already have issues with, Twitter and everyone having, like, kind of storing your data. And they say they don't, and then it's archived somewhere or whatever. But I don't know if I trust all my messaging going through the blockchain, and then with all like these hackers and everything. I don't know.
Dre, were you going to add to that?
Yeah, I was trying to also message my boy to come in here, my guy from yesterday, Jerry. But no, yeah, when it comes to the messages on the blockchain, I'm not too comfortable with it yet. I mean, me and my friend Mason or Maha, we always talk about it as like, man, it would be so nice if OpenSea did have a messenger so you could literally message directly to somebody who's holding like an NFT that you want.
Oh, yeah.
And I was thinking maybe that's what they're trying to do with this. But if that's the case, then that's great, because transaction conversations can be recorded, I guess, on the blockchain, so that way
that's true.
There's some evidence behind what people say. They can't say, oh, this person jit me or whatever. Those messages are all there. But as far as like just a pure messenger, I think I would wait on that one.
Yeah, which is what people are doing, right? Like, people are screenshotting it, and then they were like, look at, I'm messaging people like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. And it was like just regular conversations, like, hey, what's up? Like, what are you gonna do today? I'm like, that's so dumb.
It's cool to them just because it is on the blockchain, which, okay, I'm sure the first time like a phone call ever occurred, it was like the novelty of it was cool, right? And I don't know if any information was actually said that was cool. And so maybe that's what is cool at first. I can say right now, if I'm going to message one of you guys and it's just, sup, kind of things, I'm probably just using my standard centralized messaging for it.
Yeah, exactly. It kind of reminds me like the AIM days.
Don't tell me secrets on this thing.
Yeah.
That can get people in trouble, right? If everything is publicly viewable.
Well, I hope that people are smart enough to not go that route, but also, yeah, you have to be careful which information you share on there, for sure, because if people can figure out how to tap into those messages, oh man.
Yeah, things could get hairy real quickly. Well, okay, so I think everybody wants to be decentralized. It'd be really cool if whenever I went to OpenSea, it had nothing to do with Amazon web servers. I was able to do messaging that's completely decentralized. It's not held anywhere. So that's cool. My question about messaging, and it sounds like y'all have already talked about it, so maybe y'all have already at least talked about it offline. What blockchain it's going to be on, and how are they paying transactional costs of it? What if those people that put like one thought into like 17 messages?
Oh, yeah.
What's going to happen there?
I'm actually not sure how that is going to go. I was looking into that actually too, because I was like, is this going to, cost gas for this messenger? Is each message going to cost something, or is it, because I know it's the owners of Etherscan that made this platform. So I'm guessing is maybe they would make it on ETH, but who, on the ETH blockchain. But if they did, then yeah, wouldn't there be transaction fees and all that kind of stuff? So I'm pretty interested in seeing the background of that also.
So it's late at night. You're ready to send out your booty call message with the you up, and it cost you $150 US in ETH to be able to send that you up. So
and you get left on red.
right.
That's an expensive Netflix and chill movie.
For real,
real expensive. Yeah, you better. Yeah, you know how you take the girl on the date and you're like, I paid all this money and everything. Come on. Well, now it's like, I paid all these gas fees. Okay. I just sent a you up text. You at least could respond to me. But she doesn't want to spend the $150 to respond to you either. So, yeah, she's just not that into you enough to be able to spend gas money on you, bro. Yeah. So to everything y'all are saying, I completely agree. Now, if you saw this XX Messenger, which I don't think is the same guy that is putting on the Etherscan one, he says it's quantum resistant. So even quantum computing couldn't hack into it. So I know at least people are thinking about the hacking aspect of it, of having access to everything. I don't think, I mean, I'm sure all the messages would be encrypted. It's not to where you would be able to read my you up message to somebody else. So yeah, who knows? I think it's a good thing to think about. And Christine's obviously thinking already about, security and all your messages being out there and everything like that. So either way, as far as it being, a positive thing, yeah, it's good that they're trying to do something that's on Web 2 into Web 3.
Now, what I'm wondering is how far do they go with this? Do you turn this into an actual messenger app, like people could use on their phones to message, kind of like a WhatsApp type feel where, if it is encrypted and unhackable, then some really weird conversations will be held on those things.
Yeah, but what happens to the person that you send that message to, right? I mean, do they have access? They obviously have access to that message. Are they the only one?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm thinking. Like if it's like a direct messenger, like WhatsApp's supposed to end encrypted. So, technically you would think that only you two would be accessible to those information. But then of course it's all been proven that, WhatsApp isn't as secure as we all think. So, I feel like it's gonna be the same thing with this, Somebody will figure out the loophole. Some of these guys live for that.
But like that OpenSea example you had, it'd be cool to be on OpenSea and maybe message somebody that's holding an NFT and ask them a question about it. That would be cool. But do you feel like that has to be decentralized, or do you feel like OpenSea could have some servers and just
Yeah, I feel like they could just have some servers and literally just have a messenger app
Right.
like in there. It doesn't have to be all
It doesn't have to be
extreme.
on the blockchain.
Yeah, I mean, there is some security that would probably be held in it, because I feel like some phishing type links or things like that could be sent through those messengers and possibly hack people's wallets, which is one thing I would be, kind of hesitant on. Also, is just maybe a direct link through OpenSea could be, it could have goods and bads.
Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking of let's say, I'm thinking almost like a group chat on OpenSea where there's a separate group chat for every individual NFT. And that way you could ask a question and maybe it could be stated as the owner is answering the current owner of the NFT is answering the question there. It could be for some cool discussion. I don't know that it needs to be on the blockchain.
Yeah, exactly. It'd be like, what's that app where you could sell things? OfferUp, where you could just message the owner. Yeah, that'd be cool. An OfferUp for NFTs. Oh man.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty similar, right? Like similar feeling. But yeah, it doesn't. I feel like if they were gonna create this messaging on the blockchain, whatever they're trying to do decentralized, it really isn't needed. And I could only see use for what Dre was saying, which is transactional messaging through all these NFT platforms or maybe even crypto exchanges, whatever. But does it need to be decentralized? Probably not, because you're not really going to be having some crazy in-depth conversations there, or which you shouldn't. And I think we're still very early in the space where we're seeing so much hacking going on and phishing links and this and that. I just feel like it opens another loophole for someone to attack a lot of investors.
But there's some people that want this, I think, and it's because, okay, so you heard me yesterday talking about if you use the PFP feature on Twitter, then you're kind of opening up your wallet to everybody. And Scroop came on here and said, that's not really necessary. No one cares. And he's probably right. Okay, first of all. But second of all comes, you do have a group of that just want to be anonymous online. And so if they think they can do a messaging app where you're just messaging, voice of DeFi rather than Steven, it makes it to where they can at least have a messaging app and be as anonymous as they always wanted to be. And I'm sending something to christinebarnum.eth, a message to that address. Now, granted, that's a bad example since it's not an anonymous, address. But yeah, it makes it to where we can message and still be anonymous. And maybe that group of people that really want to live like that
Be sure to listen in to all of our weekly shows and follow us on Twitter for updates.